Hello. Everybody on YouTube is talking about master copies.
Copying and reconstructing full masterwork.
Studying and copying the works of the master.
Master copies.
We could think of it as master copy.
This is a master copy.
The idea there seems to be that you'll only become a real artist after you study the masters. And you do that by copying old artworks over and over. For most of us, going down that rabbit hole of copying old techniques to become good at such old-fashioned styles is going to be a huge waste of time. And the worst part, it won't even get you any closer to achieving your full potential as an artist or creator. So let me save you from countless hours of boring technical copying, and instead I'll show you how to use an old master painting, in my case that's going to be The Last Supper by Leonardo Da Vinci, as a reference to inspire paintings that are both fun to make and original. You can use any painting reference and actually build on your intuition and in your own unique style, voice and techniques. That is all possible. You don't have to spend thousands of hours copying old style paintings in order to be an artist. So first things first, because we're using our reference as a source of inspiration rather than as a model to copy with precision, the first thing we'll need to do is to think critically. When you stop to look at your reference painting, there will be for sure several things that you love about it and several things that you don't quite like as much. Speaking about things we like, please don't forget to like this video. It is such a small thing to do, but as a small-time YouTuber, it really makes a huge difference to me and to the channel. Now, going back to these watercolors, something I really like about The Last Supper is the depth of emotions represented in the painting, where several characters are expressing strong and conflicting feelings, which make the scene come to life with serious tension that I find beautiful. So, in my first graphite sketches, I'm paying close attention to the expressions painted by Da Vinci and trying to really learn from how he composed his portraits, the expressions, the subtlety of the shading, all of that. On the other hand, if I look at the painting critically, I'm actually not in love with a couple of things. For example, the composition. I find the horizontal alignment of the 13 figures alongside the table too stiff and static. And I also have no interest in the architectural elements or on whatever is on the table, for example. So what I'll do is I will only focus on what I find actually interesting from the reference. I've chosen to draw only a small selection of characters, the ones in whom I see the deepest emotions, and I'm also lining them differently on the page. Rather than keeping them sitting side by side, I will have them aligned vertically, just to change things up a bit. And I'm hoping that with this change, the painting is a little bit more mine. I'm not too happy with their expressions, but this will do. Something else I also really like about the original Da Vinci painting is the soft pastel colors that he uses. This sort of color choice has definitely made a comeback lately in contemporary styles, and it makes the painting both distinctively from the Renaissance, but also oddly well adjusted to today's color palettes and preferences. To me, that's really cool. So I've decided to also keep these drawings very pastel, but if you have a different situation, for example, perhaps in your reference painting the palette may not be aligned with your own color preferences, I would say go with your instinct and don't let yourself be dictated what to do by an old painting. You can still learn a lot from past works without having to produce art where your own artistic vision just doesn't have a space. We need to carve that space out for ourselves and take every painting and exercise as an opportunity for that. It's hard enough to develop our own style as an artist. If on top of that, you are dedicating so much time to develop skills in niche techniques and materials from obscure time periods in art history, you are going down a path where it's more and more difficult for you to find your own self-expression. And in art, your uniqueness and individuality really are the things that will most affect the progression of your career and the value of your artworks. Now, after painting the facial expressions of the characters, which was the bulk of what I wanted to take from the original painting, I am freeing myself from being faithful to the reference. Instead, I am going to go the modernist route and start filling the space with color blocks, sticking to the pastel tones that I like, and covering the painting surface randomly according to basically just what feels right to me. And that's it. I'm kind of happy with the result. These have been quick sketches and so nothing to boast about, but it felt great to reproduce a bit of Da Vinci's work while developing my own artistic instincts, and I've learned a lot of things that will carry over to the next pieces that I create. I hope that you can also take something from this exercise in this video and get inspired to do the same.